And we are live. Hello, folks. Welcome to part 32 of Sonadow Play Ace Attorney. Joining me, as per usual, is my lovely girlfriend, I am Shadow007. Say hello, hon.
Hi.
And this is the first of a double bill this week because we are literally at the final investigation, and tomorrow we'll be at the final trial of this trilogy.
And I just want to say this. I find it very hilarious that tomorrow will be part 33 and that we're ending the entire trilogy on 33 parts. And my birthday.
And your birthday?
January 8th. I'll be 33 years old. January 8th, Saturday. It's crazy that.
Yeah, funny that. Well, without further ado, let's get started.
Alrighty.
I'm still up at this hour, reading through the trial record of a certain case. It's the first case my mentor, Mia Fey, had ever handled in a court of law. The horrifying truth that I refuse to accept is holding me hostage here within its pages. Dahlia Hawthorne. What I have read, I don't want to believe. What is written here, this isn't the Dahlia I knew. After falling into Eagle River, I was somehow miraculously saved. But I ended up catching a cold that seemed to knock me around the world and back. I feel dizzy, my ears are ringing, my throat burns, and my head is on fire. But I will recover. I have to recover by this afternoon. I have to meet with the most ill-tempered witness imaginable. But I know that he will be able to help me with them, somehow. Right, are you sure you're well enough to be doing this? You still look a little green in the face. Or maybe Viridian in artist speak. Actually, my fever's gone down quite a bit. How's your temperature now? Only 102.2 degrees, nothing to worry about. Anyway, I read today's trial record. You weren't bad, Edgeworth. Pretty impressive despite the circumstances. We're not in the clear yet. The main point of contention tomorrow is going to be the murder weapon. Yeah. In the end, the Shishito did not deliver the deadly blow. Which means there must be another sword hiding out there that we don't know about. Another sword, huh? Don't worry about a thing, pal. I'll dig up the murder weapon myself, or I'll eat my coat. Thanks again, Edgeworth. I'll handle things from here. That is probably for the best. Actually, I was thinking about paying the old precinct a little visit. There's something I want to look into. And that is a client's background, naturally. You mean Iris, sir? I have the feeling that we've met before. All I want is confirmation, one way or the other. And since I probably won't be getting that from you, I'm sorry, Edgeworth. I bid you adieu, right? Take care. Guess I should get moving too. Why? Do you need to be somewhere? Yeah, I've got to get to work on the bridge, pal. I'm rigging something up so we can get across to the other side. Ah, that's right. Maya's still stuck over at the inner temple. But don't worry, pal. As soon as it's all set, you'll be the first to know. Thank you, Gumshoe. No problem, pal. Just try not to give me that cough of yours, okay? Alright, I'm off. Oh, hold on. Cat wants out.
Okay.
Cat picks her moment, so she does.
Yep.
Hang in there, Maya. We'll get you out, I promise. But in the meantime, I've got to continue collecting evidence.
To the main hall. The main gate. I mean, same thing. Hi, Larry.
Please! It's for art's sake, I swear! There's only one guy I know who can be this persistent and high-strung. I'm talking about the heroine here! The heroine in my book! It'll make you famous!
Enough. A fool's who foolishly accepts the foolishness of a fool's fool. Wouldn't you agree, Phoenix Wright?
Huh? Me? Wait a second. I know you. You're up. Ow!
Your reflexes and mine need to shape up.
My brain's frying like sunny side up and you want to grill me over a name? Franzi, you can't do that! Even as we speak, Nick's on the brink of death. Or so I'm told. Ow!
Whip a dead horse. Isn't that one of your American sayings?
You are American. At least in the Japanese version.
Yeah.
No, it's not! And I'm not on the brink of anything. Come on, Nick. Tell her, would you? Tell her she needs to model for my new picture book, Franzi's Whippity-Whip Trip. What?
Before you ask me to model, learn to give at least some semi-coherent testimony.
And before that, you'll have to learn how to live a semi-coherent life, Larry. I don't care what anyone says! I'm telling the truth! I saw what I saw! She flew! I'm telling you! Whoosh! Just like that dude with the red underwear! You mean Superman? Don't think I'm gonna forgive you guys when you come crawling back to apologize! Off he goes.
It's amazing how little has changed with you in the past year, Phoenix Wright. Let's talk.
Have you been in Germany all this time?
That's right. Extending my perfect win record, naturally.
Oh joy, sounds like she hasn't changed a bit. Has it really been a year since we first met?
I am Franziska von Karma, the prodigy.
I see.
I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge.
Franziska was born and raised in Germany and became a prosecutor at the age of 13. Her father was the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. He had a perfect win record for 40 long years, and now he's gone from this world. Don't tell me you still hold a grudge against me because of what happened to your father.
Phoenix Wright, you will fall before me. This I promise. It will be for my sake, not my father's. Are we clear?
Yes, crystal.
In truth, I was shocked. I came back to America with the intention of defeating you. Instead, it was my little brother who was leading the defense.
Edgeworth. Come to think of it, Edgeworth was pulled into being a prosecutor by Manfred von Karma as well.
Miles Edgeworth told me something very interesting, you know. He said this case has a special significance to you.
Because it does.
And that's precisely why I'm here. Your personal involvement will make crushing you into teensy-weensy pieces all the better.
It's probably the fever, but she's so openly hostile, it's almost kinda cute. Ow!
No smirking!
No whipping the sick!
That foolish fool doing such a foolish favor for such a foolishly foolish fool.
Edgeworth.
Make no mistake, Phoenix Wright. I came here for one thing and one thing only, to pulverize you.
It's not like I thought you were here to bring me some cult killer X, you know.
I went over the whole case file on the flight over.
You read the whole thing?
Yes, every last word of every last sentence of every last paragraph. All the ridiculous things you did made a very interesting read, you know. Attempting to cross a burning bridge? Did you even consider the dangers?
No. The only thought in my mind was I have to get across.
A fool who doesn't think is more foolish than a fool who foolishly thinks.
Gumshoe said he'd let me know once the bridge was repaired. Maya, she's gotta be okay. I just know it. Plus, I need to ask her about what really happened at the Inner Temple that night.
Let's see. I think we go into the main hall. Yes. This bikini.
That was one long sigh. Sister Bikini?
My. I didn't know you were here. How are you doing?
You don't have to pretend to be in a good mood for my sake.
I suppose I've made a terrible mess of things, haven't I? I let Mystic Elise die, and then there's Iris as well.
Mystic Elise? Now that I think about it.
There's an acolyte stuck at the Inner Temple. And that poor little girl has gone missing, too.
That little girl? You don't mean Pearls, do you?
Yes, I'm afraid I do. She hasn't been since the morning after the incident.
Pearls? She's missing? Why didn't anyone tell me about this?
Let's talk to you. I must be getting old. I think I've seriously lost faith in myself.
Are you talking about your performance at the trial today?
You believe me, don't you? I'm not a liar. I would never lie. I know what I saw. I saw Iris pull the sword from Mystic Elise's body that night. I'm certain of it. At least, I wasn't told this morning.
I don't see any Cyclops. She must be telling the truth. So why are you so unsure of yourself all of a sudden?
You know the artist who testified after me?
I saw Iris flying, her white hood fluttering. I felt like I might start flying myself.
When I saw that man testify so fervently about something so impossible, I started to wonder if I had just acted like him when I was on the witness stand.
I wouldn't take that guy too seriously. He's an artist, but all he draws is trouble, and nothing else. If both Bikini and Larry are telling the truth, that can only mean one thing. They both didn't see what they think they saw. On the night of the incident, you met Iris at the Inner Temple, is that correct?
That's right, I'm sure it was Iris.
But Iris claims she was in her room at Hazakura Temple.
I knew I shouldn't have come back here that night.
But because you did, Maya stuck all by herself at the Inner Temple.
I'm so sorry. The drafts in that place are nothing to shake at, stick at. Winter is especially bad.
I'll bet. The trading hall looks like it's about to fall down any second.
Eagle Mountain has always been prone to earthquakes, just so you know.
Earthquakes?
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if the next big one levels the training hall.
Gotta get Maya out of there. Fast!
But still, there's really no need to worry. That area on the other side of Dusky Bridge is isolated like an island.
It's like an island? How so?
Well, the only thing on the side of the bridge is the Inner Temple. No one lives out there, and it's surrounded on all sides by the river or the forest.
I see.
So a criminal would be trapped should they choose to flee in that direction. And as long as the bridge is out of commission, he or she will have to stay there.
That means Maya could be stuck out there with a murderer and no way of escape either!
Oh dear! Yes, I suppose it does!
Ugh. Please, Gumshoe, get that bridge up faster. I'm curious about a few things if you don't mind answering some questions.
Oh? Do you need to know my measurements for your investigation or something?
No!
The fuck?
No! I want to know a little more about the victim, Miss Elise Donim.
I'm afraid I don't know her waist size, or her bust size for that matter.
No, I'm wondering why she came to stay in a place like this to begin with. I mean, she told us herself she wasn't here for spiritual training.
My. You make it sound like this place is some sort of dump, Mr. Wright. Mystical Elise was here to soak up the natural beauty of Eagle Mountain, if you must know.
There, you did it again, Sister Bikini. I noticed you always referred to Miss Donham as Mystic Elise.
Oh?
Yes. Now, why is that? After all, she's not here as an acolyte.
They all addressed our visitors as mystic. It makes their experience feel authentic. And anyway, she's older than me. You must respect your elders, you know.
How do you know that? How can you say for sure that she's older than you? Uh-oh. Son of a... Seems Miss Elise Donan was no ordinary visitor after all. Then there's Pearls. She was with Miss Donham on the evening of the murder. Now she's vanished. It's all got to be connected somehow. Why did Pearls have to get mixed up in this mess?
Please, Mr. Wright, I know you're worried, but try to keep it together.
Oh, man. My head's throbbing so bad. Killing me. Pearls, she was with Miss Donham on the night of the murder, remember?
Yes, but I have a temple to run, you know. I was busy preparing for the training. I didn't see the little darling even once after we finished eating dinner.
The murder. It didn't take place right in front of her innocent eyes, did it?
According to the detective, she hasn't turned up at her home either.
Come on, keep calm. There's one place left where Pearls could be. She just has to be there. Come on, Gumshoe. Tell me you'll be done with the repairs soon.
Alright, the courtyard.
This is where Sister Bikini witnessed the incident. It's hard to imagine she was laying on the stand, so... Maybe there's some clues that have yet to be found.
Main hall.
Hey!
What was that darn considerably loud yell?
So this is where you've been. Keep it nice and warm, I see. Detector, have you finished the bridge? Yeah, I did. I told you I'd let you know.
Well. Then I'll come along with you and...
Sorry, ma'am. No unauthorized entry. Access is restricted to people involved in the case.
What was that? I'm involved, aren't I? You couldn't get much more involved than me.
Well, yeah, but that's not what I meant. Oh!
It's been a while, Scruffy.
It's... Miss... Oh, Karma! Oh! Dirt!
Sister, please, lead the investigation to me. My. Well, you certainly seem to have everything under control. I am on your side. I won't do anything you don't want me to.
As you work to pin the guilt on Iris...
Ow. What are you daydreaming about, Phoenix Wright?
Ow! It hurts, you know! Ow!
Silence! I, Franziska von Karma, will personally guide you through your investigation. So you will follow me.
She's not seriously going to follow me around, is she?
Yep, she is. The inner temple gate.
How the hell did Gumshoe build that?
Logic.
Things have certainly become a lot more hectic than before.
They must have commenced with the investigation.
That voice!
Pearly!
Pearls!
Mr. Nick! Mr. Nick!
So you were here ever since that night?
I was so lonely. I thought I was going to die. When I woke up in the morning and saw that dusky bridge was gone, I realized I was all alone.
She was all alone.
It must have been very trying for you, little girl. Ah! You're... I am Franziska von Karma, the prodigy. There's no need to worry now that I'm here. You're the prosecutor who was so mean to Mystic Maya last year. Well... I don't like you. You're nothing but a little girl without your whip. Mystic Maya didn't do anything wrong, but you were so mean. I'll never forgive you.
It looks like Pearl's words are getting under her skin. Yo! Were you whipping me? I didn't say anything!
You didn't have to. The smile on your lips gave it away.
Oh, goddamn it. Anyway, Pearls, weren't you with Maya?
I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
Huh? What are you talking about, Pearls?
Mystic Maya!
Hey, wait! Pearls! She just ran off. Ow!
That was cruel, Phoenix Wright. To make a little girl cry like that is inexcusable.
What's that all about? Pearl's acting like that. It's giving me the creeps. I guess I'd better take another look around since I finally got a chance. Especially since something about this place seems different from 2 days ago.
You mean like that incinerator?
There's a weird smell coming from that incinerator. The door's also open, almost like it's begging me to look inside. Well, let's see what stunning clue is concealed in here, shall we? Huh? It's empty!
How naive of you, Phoenix Wright.
But it's a bit strange, don't you think? Franziska von Karma? I seem to remember. There was snow in this incinerator the first time I saw it. In other words, someone's been using it to burn something recently.
Listen, Phoenix Wright. It's imperative to call people by their full name.
I was only copying you.
All right, to the training hall. One of these things is not like the other. What's wrong? Why are you so quiet?
Maya, she was supposed to be in here training.
Yet it appears she's nowhere to be seen.
What's that? That strange lock. It wasn't here 2 days ago. This whole room is really giving off some strange vibes.
You mean like that scroll?
Yeah, the one that's covered in curry sauce.
Yep. What do you think this yellow poster is, Phoenix Wright?
It's a scroll, not a poster. It's a picture of a woman who's actually... a woman? Oh,
A woman? I don't see any woman here.
there's a different atmosphere in this room since the last time I was here. No, it's not a different atmosphere. It's a different smell. It's gravy!
What's the matter?
The scroll. It's been completely covered in gravy. Oh, I forgot they changed it to gravy.
Yeah, instead of curry sauce.
Gravy!
Yes. There's a very appetizing smell in the air. But gravy is a type of sauce. So when you run out of pain, you Americans use gravy as a substitute, I see.
No one does that. For starters, it stinks.
Oh my god.
This must be the gravy that we had with the roast in the night of the incident. But why would anyone do this? Why the scroll?
Thank you. That lock?
This door. When I was here 2 days ago, that weird lock wasn't on it.
Those chains, it's almost as if they're guarding something inside the cavern. I've never seen a lock quite like this before.
I have. I've seen locks and chains just like this before. They look just like the ones that guard a person's secrets during a psych lock. I wonder if this lock is guarding something too. Dark secrets in a dark cavern.
Hey, Godot.
What took you so long? I thought even you'd managed to get here faster than this. Mr. Trite.
Where have you been?
Prosecutor Godot, I didn't know you were here.
Prosecutor?
How come you didn't show up at the trial today?
That's Phoenix.
Oh, sorry. How come you didn't show up at the trial today? Huh. I could ask you the exact same question. Huh? But I had a cold, so... I had something slightly more important than a common cold to deal with. The importance of which is something you have no hope of ever understanding.
Enough! I believe I had the measure of you. You are the very worst kind of prosecutor. What could be more important than a trial?
Who's the wild mare, Trite? This is Miss Von Karma. She was the acting prosecutor in your absence today. Huh. Well, I guess I owe you one then. But you can go now, Princess. It's time for the big boys to take the reins.
Who do you think you are? This case is my...
Hey, Philly. Know your role and shut your mouth. I can't stand women like you. I'm only going to say this once, Lady Von Whippingberg. Go home. Ow!
Phoenix, right!
What are you hitting me for? You deserve more cracks of the whip than that, Trite. What? You still don't get it, do you? You don't realize that you've set something in motion that you'll never be able to undo. There's something different about Godot today. I'm getting such a strong sense of something from behind that mask of his. Is it anger? Or is it sorrow? You had some important business and that's why you weren't in court, huh? So what was it? I've told you once before, but perhaps you don't remember. I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. You see, Trite, I've experienced something most have not. Death. You died? Of course, being extradited from hell is a tedious affair. The meticulous regeneration and adjustment of all your internal organs is, well, let's just say modern medicine allows us to live to a ripe old age. Even someone like me. So, you mean that mask you wear is this ugly device? I promise it's not a fashion statement, my unenlightened friend. Without this, I can't see your frequently dumbfounded face. I didn't know. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with those huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. Still, I keep this worn-out piece of junk of a body going with regular servicing.
Oh, I'm sorry, but... You say you experienced death? How is that possible? What happened?
Why don't you ask him? Huh? Me? Yeah, Trite, you. You should know all about it. You know when my life ended, and who ended it for me.
Well, Phoenix, right? Do you?
Ow! I don't know what he's talking about! Although, to be honest, I do feel a little tug at the corner of my memory. I think I do know about how Godot was killed. It will all become clear in due time. Isn't that right, Trite? Earlier you said I've done something I can never undo. What did you mean by that exactly? The inner temple here is on this side of Dusky Bridge and is an isolated island. That's what Sister Bikini said too. And I wonder, Trite, do you know what the police are doing here today? What do you mean? They're searching. Searching for any trace of an acolyte who went missing. Missing? As leader of the search party, I can tell you this with absolute certainty. Maya Fey is not on this side of Dusky Bridge. Huh? But that's impossible! She came here that night and... I won't say it again. The chances of her being here are nil. Excluding, of course, one very unique place. One... where's that? The Sacred Cavern, the entrance of which we're standing at right now. This is the only place the search party has yet to explore. So they haven't searched that cavern yet, huh? Be aware, though, that the temperature inside frequently falls below freezing. Even if she were in there, the chances of her being found alive are slim at best. No! Which means, Trite, that you sent Maya Fey to her death.
You fool! If that's the situation, why aren't you in there with the search party right now?
You must have blinders on, my equestrian angel. Don't you see the big lock and chains? It's a trick lock. I'm making preparations to open it as we speak. Well, Trite, once again, a woman dies because of you. Once again? What are you talking about? Don't tell me you've forgotten. It was only 2 years ago. After all, when the unfortunate woman died, the last unfortunate woman died because of you. Because of me? And do you know who that was? It was Maya Fey's sister. That's right, Mia Fey. Mia? You killed her. No, that's not how it was. It was 2 years ago. Mia Fey was pursuing someone, a man. But she bit off more than she could chew. She made a very dangerous enemy. Yeah, that's one case I'll never forget. But I got the guy, personally! Sure, Miss Fey's murderer was caught. But that won't bring her back. Well, no, but... You were with her at the time. You and no one else. It was your responsibility. You should have protected her. You say Mia Fey was your teacher. Well then, I'd say you learned nothing, Trite. You robbed her of her life, and now, you've let her sister suffer the same fate. I haven't sentenced Maya to death. No!
What is this peculiar-looking lock? Why don't we just break it open? It would be a simple matter of...
I'm afraid we can't do that. This area has always been prone to earthquakes. Repeated tremors have weakened the foundations of the training hall. Any excessive force used to break the lock open would... well, let's just say the inner temple in the Sacred Cavern would be a thing of the past.
Very well. Then I suggest the obvious solution of opening it with the key.
Huh. Sure, just show me where the keyhole is on this trick lock. There's no keyhole! That's right. An interesting puzzle, huh? The person who set this lock is the only one who can open it. Then who was it? Simple. The accused. What? Iris? When an acolyte undergoes training inside the Sacred Cavern, the attending sister is responsible for locking the entrance. Obviously, the night of the murder was no exception. Maya Fey was to train in there. Sister Bikini did mention it a number of times now that I think about it. She said that Iris was left in charge of supervising the early stages of the training. So Iris, the accused, is the only one who can open this lock. I've arranged for her to be brought here now. Iris is the only person who can open this lock. I hope she gets here soon. Hang on in there, Maya. We'll get you out. So, I should be getting back to work. Wait, Godot! How sure about Maya are you? There's no doubt in my mind. She's in the Sacred Cavern somewhere. It's the only place she could be. You'd better start praying. You'd better pray that that friend of yours brings the accused back here soon. Edgeworth? Listen up, Trite. There's only one thing I want to say to you before I go. I'll never accept you. Never.
Should choose your friends more carefully, Phoenix Wright.
That's what everyone says. It looks like I don't have much of a choice. I guess I'll just have to do what I can for now.
Back to the inner temple.
Sounds like someone's talking to
That's
himself.
Gumshoe.
Was it Gumshoe?
Yeah.
But where's that coming from? Ah. Yeah, I guess I better wash that off. That's what I'll do. No, but I can't do that. I'm a detective. Ugh, my brain. This is driving me nuts. Ow!
Is something troubling you, Scruffy?
But please don't whip me like that all of a sudden, sir.
It was merely a simple greeting. A friendly tap on the shoulder with my whip.
A friendly tap on the shoulder doesn't leave a gash. So, what's up, Gumshoe? Is something on your mind? How did you know, pal?
Perhaps you were trying to decide if you wanted to wash that off or not.
How did you know, sir? Oh, yeah. I nearly forgot. You can't go through that little gate there, okay? You mean the one that says no entry on it? Kinda already snuck in there. Is he trying to be clever or something?
So what's behind there, Scruffy?
Huh? A kind of, garden-like garden. A garden. Yeah, anyway, it's under investigation right now, so keep out! I'm not telling you, I'm asking you, pal. You got me? Isn't it normally the other way around? Well, see you later!
So, shall we adjourn to this garden, Phoenix Wright?
Of course! What else would we do? I really want to know what Gumshoe was thinking of washing off.
To the garden! It's a strange feeling in the air. I wonder what it is.
Strange feeling? Forget about that. What's that strange writing on the stone lantern? What are you doing here, sir? I thought I said you can't come in here!
Don't you know, Scruffy? Avant Karma will always show up wherever there is a clue. And there are plenty of clues to be found here.
But... Oh dear.
Examine.
Hold on, let's talk to Gumshoe first. So,
Okay.
How's the Inner Temple investigation going? We have the best forensic team in the world in the world working the place.
Forensic team? And what was the outcome of the scientific study?
Nothing. Scientifically speaking, the place is as clean as a whistle.
That's simply not good enough, Scruffy. Do you think I'll let you get away with that?
Uh-oh. Well, there were a couple of things that bothered me when I first got here, sir.
The stone lantern and the surrounding area that's not covered in snow, correct?
They look kind of fishy to me, you know, scientifically speaking. So I got the lab boys to look them over. The results were... It's kind of hard to say, actually. I guess I better look into them myself. About Maya. Oh, did Mr. Godot tell you yet? Yes, we heard. He's got a search party out looking for her. But there's nowhere else you could have disappeared to on this side of Dusky Bridge. All we can do is wait for Mr. Edgeworth to get here, pal. Edgeworth? He's escorting Iris, the defendant, over here.
We'll have to wait, since she's the only one who can open the door to the Sacred Cavern.
Oh, I think Mr. Edgeworth wants to talk to you about something too, pal. Huh? I wonder what it is. Just don't be expecting any good news when you talk to him. When I spoke to him, Mr. Edgeworth sounded so down. I felt like I was drowning. Sounds pleasant. Right.
There's something on the ground on the left.
Yes, I see it. Oh, let's examine this first. The hell is that? Uh-oh. You spotted it, huh, pal? Are you kidding me? It couldn't be more obvious!
It says Maya.
Yeah, and before you ask, it's written in blood.
You will answer all of our questions now, Scruffy, without exception.
Oh, yes, sir. God, how does the judge like that? There's a charm or something poking out from the snow. It looks pretty old. There's a leather cord tied to it, too. Apparently it belonged to the victim.
To Miss Lee Stoneham?
Yeah, there was a broken leather cord around the lady's neck. The ends of the cord were found on both the victim and on this charm match exactly. Sounds to me like this little trinket is going to be my ticket to getting some very big answers.
Then I examined the ground around the snow.
Well, this is odd. There's no snow on the ground here. And it's an almost perfect rectangle. It couldn't have happened naturally. No, you don't say.
Yes, it appears as though someone has carefully cleared away the snow.
Oh!
No doubt it was you, wasn't it, Scruffy?
Oh, no! It wasn't me, sir! It was already like that when my men and I got here to start the investigation. If it wasn't the police, then who did it? Oh, yeah, there's something I need to tell you. Just between the three of us, okay?
What is it?
It's top secret. You can't tell anyone, got it?
Understood.
Well, when I was a kid, I got knocked out of the local wrestling contest, you see? I was so disappointed I just picked up my mouth guard and cried all the way home. Man, I got in so much trouble when I left it on the couch.
Is that it?
That's it! Oh! Whoever cleared the snow away must have had a reason. Although I can't even begin to imagine what the reason could be.
Talk to Gunshoe again. He's got more details.
Maya. So these letters are written in blood? Yeah. What's worse, it's the victim's blood. Huh? This is Miss Donham's blood? We haven't done a detailed analysis yet, but it's looking that way, pal.
Most interesting. Phoenix Wright, I presume you know, don't you? Why Maya's name is written upside down.
You know, that was really bothering me too. But I just came up with the answer. The result of my own special gumshoe investigation.
Really? Do tell.
Well, on the night of the murder, the stone lantern was upside down!
Anyway, there really is only one logical explanation to this mystery. Miss Elise Dunham wrote these letters herself, in her own blood.
You must be joking! That's impossible! From the writing in the victim's blood and the other clues left behind, it seems pretty likely that the garden was the scene of Miss Elise Dunham's murder. At least, that's our current theory on how the events took place, pal. What?! So, Miss Elise Dunham was killed here? However you want to look at it, that's what people are saying now. Then, what Sister Bikini saw in the courtyard at the main temple was... Well, what was it? If that wasn't the scene of the crime, what did she see? What do you think, Miss Macarba?
Surely a special gumshoe investigation would reveal the answer, no?
Wait a sec. The bloody writing on all the other clues here. Someone could have easily set all that up after the murder, right? Sorry, but that's not an option, pal. Why not?
How quickly you forget, Phoenix Wright. Ever since the incident occurred, this place has been completely inaccessible. Because Dusky Bridge was completely burned out.
I was overseeing repairs to the bridge the whole time. No one came over here before me and my men. Which means no one could have planted all the stuff here, pal. I can't think of a counter-argument to that. I knew it. I should have washed the blood off the lantern as soon as I got here. If this really was the scene of the crime, then I need to figure out exactly what it was Bikini actually saw. Gumshoe, if you did that and it was found out, you could be charged with tampering with a crime scene.
Yeah. To the Bing Gate.
Oops.
It seems you have a visitor. Mr. Wright!
Iris! I'm really glad to see you. Godot managed to mobilize the police by claiming a state of emergency.
Not him again.
Never mind him. Never mind him! We've got to hurry and unlock the Sacred Cavern!
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. It's my fault someone was so important to you was locked in there. Mr. Edgeworth, can we finish our conversation later?
Alright. Let's hurry to the inner temple then. I'll see you later, Wright. Hold it! Wait, Edgeworth! I'm coming with you guys! Sorry, Wright. I can't allow you to come with us. What?! I hate to be the one to break it to you, but Maya Fey is in a rather delicate position. What do you mean by delicate position? This isn't simply a rescue operation, Wright. It's also an investigation. That being the case, we can't allow members of the public to interfere. Come on, Edgeworth! If anything happens, you'll be the first to know. Please understand, Wright. But
Mr. Wright! All that matters is that Mystic Maya is rescued, correct? Listen to the voice of reason for a change, Phoenix Wright.
From now on, consider anything beyond Dusky Bridge to be off-limits. We'll be going now. Excuse us. Ow!
This is no time to be standing around, Phoenix Wright. Aren't there other things that demand your attention?
Yeah, like going to the hospital for all these fucking whip marks. She's right. Thanks for reminding me.
The main hall.
Sister Bikini looks like she shrunk some since I last saw her.
Don't be so rude, Phoenix Wright. What's wrong, Sister Bikini? My! Hello, you two. How are you doing?
From the sound of that sigh, I guess she's still pretty down.
Iris was just here, you know. She was accompanied by that handsome crimson-clad prince.
Is she talking about Edgeworth?
It was just a courtesy call. I wasn't allowed to talk with her at all. Oh dear, it's all my fault that this has happened. Poor Iris. She was worried about my bag, would you believe? What have I done to her? Only what you had to do, sister. You bravely and truthfully testified about what you saw. There's no shame in that. And we'll see to it that your testimony wasn't made in vain. Well, I don't hear anyone else saying that. Mr. Bluesuit doesn't seem to share your opinion, I see.
Huh? Me? Ow! Oh, yeah! You did great, Sister Bikini. Ow, absolutely spectacular!
You two are the ones who always said that to me.
Shake the feeling that I just became a shill to a shrew.
Do you have a problem, Phoenix Wright?
Sure, she was brave to testify so truthfully like that. But I know she's still hiding something. Guess it's time to break up those sight locks of hers.
Right, you. Magatama.
Take that! Sister Bikini, the truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. I'm convinced that Miss Lee Stoneham had a special significance to this temple. As to why she had a special significance, I believe it has to do with her true identity.
What on earth are you talking about? She was... Mystical Lace was an author, just an author of picture books.
To be honest, I had my suspicions almost immediately after I met her.
Suspicions?
Yes, but I didn't have any evidence to support my theory, though. But now I do. This piece of evidence proves Miss Stoneham true identity.
The talisman.
Miss Stoneham had this charm with her at all times.
Where did you...
This isn't some cheap good luck charm either.
Then... Why do you think it is... What do you think it is, Mr. Wright? What could a talisman like that possibly mean?
It's a talisman, is it? Interesting.
Oops.
This thing speaks volumes about who Miss Stoneham really was. This talisman and one other item unequivocally prove Miss Dotem's true identity.
The hanging scroll.
The painting is obscured by this gravy stain at the moment. But this scroll shows the master of the Korine channeling technique. The crest at the top is a sign of that honorable title. The very same crest that adorns the talisman with the victim carried with her. This crest is reserved for the master of Korine.
Who on earth told you that nonsense? I've got no idea what you're talking about.
The new master, Maya Fey, told me.
What? You mean that acolyte is Misty Fey's
daughter? Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. In fact, since her eldest daughter passed away, Maya is Misty Fey's sole successor.
Mystic Misty!
Well!
And the truth is revealed. Mystic Elise graced us with her presence about a week ago. When she showed me the talisman with that mark on it, well, I nearly fainted. No one had seen her since she disappeared 17 years ago, after all. What is the significance of the talisman, sister? The Korine talisman? It's the symbol of the master of Korine. The bearer must carry it with it always until their death. Until their death.
So Elise Dotem was really was really Maya's mother, huh?
She was Misty Fey, the master of the Korine channeling technique.
The truth comes out at last. It looks like we're making some headway here.
Tell me, sister. After 17 years, why did she choose to show herself now? Because something happened that called her out of hiding.
What happened?
Well... what's happening?
It can't be.
Earthquake!
Ah!
Oh my goodness! The inner temple! This kind of tremor might... The inner temple? The Sacred Cavern of the training hall! It might very well cave in!
What? Maya!
It seems to have passed.
Well, we can't just stand here and do nothing. Let's go!
What? Where?
To the inner temple, of course. Where else? Sister Bikini, we'll finish this later, alright?
Of course. You run along now. People may have been hurt. I must get some first aid kits right away. Come on then, Phoenix Wright. They won't bar you from entering as long as I'm with you.
Thank you. Right at that moment, I had the worst feeling in my gut. Just had an earthquake. I wonder if he's alright.
You look worried. Are you thinking about Miles Edgeworth?
Come on, let's go.
Main gate.
We've got to hurry to the inner temple and... Right. Ah, what are you doing here? Ugh. How could I have...
How do you expect us to understand if you don't speak up?
Ow! Hey! Why am I the one getting whipped? She's gone. No. The defendant, Iris. She's gone.
Gone where?
She fled. She escaped.
What?
So, it was just now, during the... It's easy to see Edgeworth's one and only weakness. His fear of earthquakes. I should have known better than to escort the defendant alone. As soon as the ground started shaking, everything went dark before my eyes, and I stupidly passed out. That incident haunts you to this day, doesn't it? That's no excuse for letting the suspect get away. I can't believe I let it happen. Right, the inner temple area is a dead end, so she could have only escaped to this side.
We haven't seen her.
Then we need to get a manhunt underway now, and search Eagle Mountain from top to bottom. Wait, Edgeworth, have you thoroughly checked the inner temple yet? Don't be ridiculous. Why would I? The inner temple is like an island. There's no way to escape but to cross. No, that's not it. Iris isn't the type of person to run away, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? Sister Bikini mentioned something when we were with her. She said the Sacred Cavern might have caved in because of the quake.
Then you think Iris might have gone to the inner temple to check on the situation?
Listen, Edgeworth, I'm sure she's at the inner temple. A manhunt is not necessary. Right. Let's not waste any more time. We need to get to the training hall Sacred Cavern now. Alright, let's go. Fortunately, the Sacred Cavern hadn't caved in. But what we found was something none of us could have ever expected. How can there be...
Even more locks.
What is the meaning of this? Iris! Iris, please tell me. What the hell is going on?
Oh boy.
Sorry?
Saying, oh boy. Alright, I'll be right back.
Okay. February 9th, Inner Temple, Training Hall. And so we wait. Phew. Just thinking give my voice a break for a second. Can't believe we're nearly at the end of the trilogy. Guess this and the final try tomorrow, then that's it. Whew. Yes, the final trial, there is a lot to wrap around. May as well pick this up just now.
I'm back.
Ah, welcome back.
Thank you.
Alright, back to it.
Right.
Right. Is this what Godot was talking about? Yeah, the trick locks. Now then, Iris, please remove these at once.
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm afraid I can't. It's not possible for me.
What? During the earthquake, when the cavern was in danger of caving in, Iris escaped. And I know that there was only one lock when I last came here.
So you're saying that you can't undo the new locks? Yes.
If only I was stronger. Edgeworth, how are you feeling? You look a little pale in the face. Like you're one to talk with your face all green.
Miles Edgeworth, go and get some air. I'll watch over the suspect. You go and get a grip on yourself.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm perfectly...
There's no telling what sort of mistakes you could make in your current state. Go and get some rest. That's your only concern now, Miles Edgeworth. Franzi is boss!
Understood. I'll handle the investigation in the garden. You take care of things here. Edgeworth. He's got so much pride that he's probably off crying in a corner of the garden.
Pride is simply another trap that hinders us in our lives. That said, one must have pride to be effective on the job. At any rate, it seems that this is where we part ways, Phoenix Wright. I'm gonna stay here and see if I can help solve those bothersome puzzles.
I see. Well, thanks for your help.
You've been great, Franzi.
Now then, do you mind if I ask you a few things, Iris?
No, not at all. Let's talk to you.
Why did you make a run for it, Iris?
I'm sorry. I heard the inner temple had been severely shaken by the strong earthquake we had. I was so worried, I just had to come and see. In other words, you didn't run away to escape the law. At least we're clear on that. I can't tell you how relieved I was when I saw the Sacred Cavern was alright, but... But what? Then I saw these chains here. I saw all these extra locks that someone had put on the Sacred Cavern's door, and... Who in the world would do something like this? These trick locks are our sacred treasure of the Korean tradition. There are hundreds of ways to set them. That's why only the only person who...
Hello? Hello?
set the lock can open it.
There we go.
That's why the okay. That's why the only person who set the lock can open it.
Yeah, you lagged there for some reason. That was weird.
This is my internet being dumb. And you're the only one who set the locks?
I don't think it's that simple, Franziska von Karma. When we were here the first time, there was only one lock. But now, somehow, there's 5 of them.
What does that mean?
It means that someone wanted to secure the place even more. And they wanted to secure it before you got here, Iris. Presumably because they wanted to make sure Maya couldn't get out. This means that Iris can only open one of these locks, the first one.
Yes, that's correct. What?
Iris, try to think, please. Is there any way around this?
Well, like I said, there are hundreds of different ways to set these locks. I suppose if I went through every combination with each one, I could remove them. But... it will take time, won't it? Yes, about a day, if I had to guess.
A whole day?
Well, that's better than leaving the locks in place. Will you do this for us? Sure, I'll do whatever I can.
You've got to wait another day? Hang in there, Maya. You're going to have to call in your inner strength now. they're not the same as psych locks, was she? The locks on that gear are physical locks, not,
No. Yeah, psyche locks are, well, psychological, hence the name, and these tricks are actually physical.
Yeah.
Because, these locks have a combination on them.
Yeah.
That's why Iris said there are hundreds of ways to open it.
You know what, Iris? There's still one thing I don't quite get.
And what might that be, Phoenix, right?
I think it's obvious. Iris, on the night of the murder, where were you?
Huh?
Please, Iris, don't give me that look. You told us that you were in your room at Hazakura Temple at the time of the incident. But you were seen at the same evening at the Inner Temple. And then, you were spotted at the scene of the crime in Hazakura Temple too.
Being spotted at both Hazakura Temple and the Inner Temple. It's as if you were...
Well, Iris, I think it's about time you told us the truth. Oh, god damn it. I knew it. There's something going on here that we don't know about.
Alright, let's go to Heavenly Hall.
I'm finally getting to the bottom of this case. I can count on Iris to break these locks, so I should try to gather more clues. From Sister Bikini, Edgeworth, Gumshoe, and Pearls. It's weird that there's no one around all of a sudden. Sure gets quiet up here in the mountains when you're all on your own. Speaking of alone, I guess I should check out the shack just down the path. Maybe I'll find Larry there sulking again.
Oh, Mr. Nick!
Pearls! What are you doing here?
Nothing. What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
Well, we don't know yet.
Oh, I see.
Hey! What do you think you're doing here, Nick? Larry. This is the loser shack, where losers get together to lose themselves. This is the what? Hey! We find comfort in each other's failures, okay? You got a problem with that?
Look, Mr. Nick. Mr. Larice did a picture of me.
That's, great, Pearls. We're going to gather firewood now. We'll be cooking some half-rotten potatoes over our miserable little campfire. So stay out of our way. Wait, you want to eat a poisonous potato? What is this, Minecraft? I don't believe this. Why can't he try getting fired up over becoming a better man? No one believes a word I say anymore. Listen to me, Pearls. You don't want to trust this kind of guy, okay? He'll only let you down.
Oh, Mystic Maya.
Let's talk.
Larry, is there something you want to tell me about this picture? Huh, I've got nothing to say to you, Nick. My life's here now, with Pearl, two losers cooking potatoes together forevermore. What am I going to do with him? Alright then, what do you think about this picture, Pearls?
I think it's really well drawn. I can't draw at all, so I think it's really amazing.
See? Someone appreciates it! It's tough getting the flames to look like that, you know.
It's supposed to be Sister Iris flying through the air, isn't it? I love it! It's like a dream! A wonderful fantasy!
No, it wasn't a dream! She really flew, I'm telling you! Iris really flew that night!
But Mr. Larice...
Ugh. Not you too! Please don't look at me like that, Pearl! Don't look at me like I'm some kind of nutcase, I beg of you!
Someone put him away, please.
I guess this picture really is a representation of what Larry thinks he saw. Okay, so I was half asleep when I was here that night. But I was wide awake after the lightning struck, and I saw what I saw. It was exactly what I drew in the picture. And it looks like I don't have any choice but to take his sketch at face value. Hey, what's with that look down on your face? Pearls.
Yes, Mr. Nick?
I've been meaning to ask you about the night of the murder.
Huh?
Where were you, and what exactly were you doing when it all happened?
I was just, well, I'm just a kid, you know? I'm sure it doesn't really matter what I was doing, does it, Mr. Nick?
Sorry, Pearls, but yes, it does. On the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Miss Donham's room reading a book together. But Miss Donham was murdered, and you, Pearls, were at the Inner Temple. Just what exactly happened that night, Pearls?
I'm really sorry, Mr. Nick.
Oh, God damn it.
I've been a bad girl. That's why I'm being punished.
What are you talking about, Pearls?
My spiritual power is disappeared.
What? Your powers have disappeared? What do you mean your powers disappeared, Pearls?
It's all over for me. A spirit medium who can't channel spirits is like a painter who can't paint.
Hey! What are you looking at me for? Pearls, did you try to channel someone's spirit right here at Hazakura Temple? Tried but failed, perhaps? Way to go, Nick! You made her cry! That was really cruel of you! Just as I thought. I'm going to have to break her sight locks to get the truth out of her.
Main hall, let's go.
I wonder if Sister Bikini's back at the main hall yet. I haven't seen Gumshoe around for a while either. Maybe they're having a cup of tea together somewhere. I bet Gumshoe is Sister Bikini's type.
This is where the truth gets really revealed now. Well, what's the damage? How's the Sacred Cavern?
It looks like it survived, but we have a bigger problem now. I told Sister Bikini all about it. About the 5 locks that were stopping us from getting inside the Sacred Cavern.
But who could have done that? The only people who know how to set those trick locks are the ones of the Karine tradition.
We have Iris at the Sacred Cavern trying her best to open them for us right now. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to talk with you about, Sister Bikini.
Oh, yes. We were in the middle of the chat, weren't we?
Yes. You were telling me how the Master of Karine disappeared 17 years ago? I want to know why Misty Face suddenly appeared at this temple.
It was about a week ago when Mystic Misty arrived. After she showed me the talisman that she proved that she was the master, she said, "Someone is trying to destroy the Karine's tradition's main family line. I am here to put a stop to them."
Someone was trying to destroy the main family line?
There's only one heir to the title of master at any time, and it's usually the eldest. That child becomes the new master of Karine, and her daughter's the main family. All the other mediums become branch family members with no hope of controlling the clan. That's why nothing has changed throughout the history of the clan. Branch families always have and always will plot to erase those of the main family line.
Is the power of the Master worth this much bloodshed?
You believe in the technique, don't you, Mr. Wright? Its power is real.
Yes, I do. It's been 2 years since I first met Maya. In that time, I've seen her channel the spirits of the dead plenty of times. During the Mask to Mask case, and during the Maggie Bird's trial too. Thanks to Maya, Mia's always on hand to help me out when I need her the most.
The Karine technique has made a huge difference to the world, you know. I mean, the ability to commune with the dead. That's true psychic power, you know. Members of the tradition have always been there behind every important leader. Who wouldn't respect such a tremendous skill?
I suppose so, but with all that power and influence, I kind of expected you to be really rich by now.
Are you saying we're poor, Mr. Wright? You're very direct, aren't you? People don't believe in that anymore, you see. All because of one little mistake.
A mistake? What mistake?
It was 17 years ago. That's when everything came crashing down. All because of that incident.
That incident? Is she talking about what I think she is?
I'm sure the record still exists if you're interested. Locked up, of course. It was called the Dl6 Incident. That's the name of the file. And funnily enough, December 28th was yesterday. And because of that, every December 28th, people dub it as Dl6 Day. Happy Dl6!
The Dl6 Incident. I knew it! The Dl6 Incident. I know it well. I handled a related case just 2 years ago.
That's right. So it was you who was the defense attorney on that case.
A murder that took place 17 years ago.
It was the first time in the country's history that the police ever used a spirit medium. The idea was to channel this victim's spirit to learn the identity of the murder.
And the medium who performed the channeling was Misty Faye, Maya's mother.
Through Mystic Misty's channeling, the name of a certain name surfaced. Armed with that as evidence, the investigators were spurred into action.
But that man, he was found not guilty, wasn't he?
That's right, he was. And the case remained a mystery. In other words, we failed. It was the first case the world has ever seen the Quran tradition openly involved in. It was all over the media, the public, the judiciary, the people of Quran Village. Everyone judged her. Everyone said Mystic Misty's powers were a sham. And then she just disappeared, vanished, while everyone still thought of her as a fraud.
But I know the truth. Mystic Faye's spirit channeling wasn't a sham at all.
Of course it wasn't. And since you managed to reveal the truth, we're finally making a comeback. The Quran tradition is starting to recover at last. But with the new master wielding the power of the clan.
Does she mean Maya?
The spiritual power of the Quran channeling technique is in the blood.
Maya told me the exact same thing before.
We, the women of the Fae clan, have always been spirit mediums. It's because the power to communicate with spirits flows strongly through with us.
According to Maya, only the women in the family can inherit that power.
The main family's bloodline stems directly from Mystic Ami. But with each new generation, only one daughter becomes the new master.
And the ones who don't become branch families, right?
That's right. And it's always the cause of tragedy.
You know, Maya had a sister too. An older sister named Mia.
Oh yes, I've heard of her.
What? You know about Mia?
Of course. She became a lawyer in the hopes of discovering what happened to her mother.
And lost her life. As a result.
Do you know what Mystic Mia is rumored to have said? She said it wasn't only because of her mother that she became a lawyer. She also didn't want to fight with her sister over the leadership of the tradition.
Really?
Well, she saw what happened to her own mother, Mystic Misty, as she grew up. I guess Mystic Mia got tired of seeing all the rivalry between her mom and her aunt.
That's right. Misty Faye had an elder sister too. And Misty, having superior powers, managed to... usurped the master's seat from her.
Misty's sister is Mystic Morgan, as you probably know.
Unfortunately. Morgan? There's a name I know well. It was a year ago now at Maya's home, Karine Village. What she did was terrible. It was also she could make her own daughter the next master.
Suppose if you know about Mystic Morgan's daughter, then you must have already realized that Iris...
Huh? Iris? What's Iris got to do with any of this?
That Iris is Mystic Morgan's daughter.
Iris is what? Is she kidding me? Iris is Morgan Fay's daughter? Did you just say that Iris is Morgan Fay's daughter?
Oops, I thought you already knew. It sounded like you met one of Mystic Morgan's daughters already.
I have! I know her very well.
Oh?
Yeah, Pearls! Pearl Fay! But I always thought she was an only child.
You just! That child, she's Mystic Morgan's? I had no idea. Mystic Morgan. But she's in prison now, isn't she?
Yes, ever since she was found to be a co-conspirator in a murder case last year. It was all done to set Pearls up as the next master.
I see. So I've been wrong all this time. Mystic Morgan had 3 daughters, not 2.
Wait, what? 3?
Yes, Iris, her twin sister, and Mystic Pearl.
What? Twin sister?
Oh, didn't you know? It all happened 20 years ago. After the clan leadership was taken from her by her sister, Mystic Morgan's life crumbled. It wasn't many years later that Karine's reputation had an all-time low. When Mystic Morgan's husband realized his wife would never become the master, he left her in the village, taking their twin daughters with him.
How awful.
He was a jeweler, you know. In the end, he remarried, and that's when it happened. He decided to give one of his girls up to be looked after by us here at the temple. And that was Iris, you see.
It's unbelievable. If Iris has a twin sister... Could it be... could you tell me one more thing, Sister Bikini? What was the name of Iris' sister?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I just can't remember. All I can recall is that her father was a jeweler.
Well, that's a clue, I guess. A jeweler. Thank you very much. You've helped clear up a lot of details. Pearls has 2 older sisters, huh?
Yes, that's right. No doubt it was all because of Mystic Morgan's anger towards the main family.
Anger? What do you mean?
Her twin daughters were taken from her by her jeweler husband. But even that couldn't destroy her dream that a child of hers would one day lead the clan.
That's why she had pearls.
It seems that the incident here was a result of Mystic Morgan's anger. It was able to break free of the bars that confined her.
So Iris has a twin sister. The plot thickens. But this information will be useless until I can flesh it out a bit. I need to ask more questions and get some more info.
To the courtyard. Let's go.
Sounds like someone's happy. What tune is that they're humming?
It's Victor Kubo's theme.
Yeah.
The theme of Mr. Tomato Nose.
Whoop! I love my job. Who cares if the clues I find are no good? That's not what investigating's all about. The investigator investigates for the love of investigating. It's a passion. Good cases we have, good cases we've lost along the way.
Oh my god.
I would have never guessed that Gumshoe was into reggae. That was meant to be reggae? Oh, for God's sake.
Yep.
I am not singing reggae. Every case is gonna be alright. Hey, pal. Huh? Who? Me? How long have you been there? I just got here. Oh, okay. So, what are you up to, Detective? I'm investigating, pal. I made a promise to Mr. Edgeworth. I promised I would find the real murder weapon. The real murder weapon? That barbed wire sword thing turned out to be a false lead, right? I'm giving it my best shot here, but I still haven't turned up any clues. I just found these weird scraps of paper. It looks like a letter or something. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the case, though. A letter? About that letter you found. Don't remind me, pal. I'm busting a gut here trying to find the murder weapon. And all I find is some burn-up old letter. Burn-up old letter? Yeah, it was in that incinerator right outside the inner temple. The incinerator? I knew it. I knew I wasn't imagining it. There was snow in the incinerator when I first saw it. But after the incident, the snow had melted away. Which means someone used the incinerator on the night of the murder. What's up with you, pal? I've got it right here if you want to take a look. Can I? Do you mind? Sure, go nuts. I don't want it, pal. You can have it. It's all spirit mediums and masters and stuff. I bet it's got no relation to the case. Spirit mediums? It's gotta be important if it mentions spirit mediums and masters. I better give it a good looking over and some serious thought. Make sure you chuck it in the trash when you're done. Littering's a crime, pal. So, how's the investigation going, Detective Gumshoe? I don't know if I should be telling you, pal. But I guess it can't hurt. Looks like the murder took place in the Inner Temple Garden. And they're taking that bloody writing on the lantern pretty seriously back at HQ. What? You mean... I don't have the details, pal. All I know is if you don't find Maya down in that Sacred Cavern, we're gonna be faced with one ugly situation. What kind of ugly situation are we looking at here? You got me. I don't know. They're not my words, pal. Then who said it? Mr. Godot. Godot? What did he mean by that? So what did you know about the real murder weapon so far? Well, it wasn't the Shishishito that was found impaled in the victim's body. Mr. Edgeworth proved that in the court today. Yes, that's true. In which case, it must have been another blade. And that's what you're running around like a headless chicken looking for now, huh? Yeah, and man, is it tiring work. But let me tell you something, pal. I'm no chicken. We've got the feather of forensics in our cap these days. We're using the department's secret weapon on this. Secret weapon? What's this secret weapon of yours? You want to know? You've got to think scientifically, okay? Alright. The murder weapon was a sword. Swords are, scientifically speaking, made of metal, right? Any questions so far? No. I know what he's gonna say, but I'll let him look smart. So what's the perfect tool for the job? Ta-da! A metal detector! Raise your hand if you didn't see this coming from a mile away. Well, you want to give it a scientific investigation a go? Huh? Me? I've been using this thing for hours now. It gets pretty boring after a while. Why don't you give it a try? I don't know. Should I help Detective Gumshoe out or not?
Yes, let's help.
Come on, pal. It's good fun. I'm telling you. Alright then. I guess I'll give it a go. Like I said, this is the department's most advanced gadget. The absolute best. It's so sensitive you could make it cry. It's so high-tech you could skydive off it. Oh, bother. So now I'm going to tell you how to use it. It's possible the real murder weapon is around here somewhere, right? Sure, that's what we're trying to find out. Right, so first, let's turn the detector on. That's the sound of the metal detector signal bouncing off something metallic. Next, move the detector around to give this courtyard a good looky-see, pal. Don't worry, this baby... Oh, and when that happens, press something to give this area a good hard stare. This thing picks up metallic objects that are hidden from sight, too. Take a good look at anything and everything that seems suspicious, okay, pal?
That staff on the ground.
Doesn't look like there's anything here. Hey, pal! All you gotta do is watch the detector and let it tell you where, okay? Alright, already. Not exactly
You gotta
a
be, like-
machinery. Yeah.
Like pixel perfect.
This is Miss Donham's staff, isn't it? Scientifically speaking, they're usually made of wood. But the detector's reacting to it. Yeah, but however you look at it, this thing's made of wood, alright. I don't bother investigating anything that looks like it might be metallic. Isn't the whole point of a metal detector to find metal where you can't see it? It's weird, this thing is causing a racket. Here, let me take a look at it. Hey! Hands off! Examining evidence is a job for the... The top's coming off. Look what you've done! You've damaged a really important piece of evidence! That's a sword? Inside the staff? Is this... Could it be... the murder weapon? I'd never have guessed there'd be a sword concealed in the victim's staff. They call this kind of thing a sword cane, pal. This one's a real gem. The workmanship is really something else. Thank goodness it wasn't a cane sword, or else the victim would have stabbed her own foot. I officially give up on trying to figure out how Gumshoe's mind works. If the real scene of the crime was the Inner Temple Garden, then why was the sword used to kill the victim found in the main hall courtyard? Hey, Gumshoe. Who knows about the hidden sword? No one! Even the police didn't know about this until I discovered it just now. Well, as they say, there's no team in Gumshoe. It doesn't look like there are any traces of blood on it. Then I guess this isn't the murder weapon, huh? No! I'm sure someone just wiped it off after the murder. Yeah, of course! This thing's definitely the murder weapon. Great job, pal! It's about the same length of the Shishishito, too. This must be the murder weapon. Okay, I'm gonna run over to forensics. There's gotta be some traces of blood left, even if most of it's been wiped off. See you later, pal!
Go to the garden.
Hold it! Wait up, detective! Huh? What is it, pal? I'm a pretty busy guy right now, you know? You're going to get that staff analyzed, right? Would you mind holding off for just a while? Huh? What are you talking about, pal? Please! Just until we find Maya. Maya? What's this got to do with her? I don't know, but I'm starting to get a really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. Oh. How so? Look, Maya's trapped inside the Sacred Cavern right now, and, well, we don't even know if she's okay or not. The more evidence and testimony I hear, the more uneasy I feel. You don't think Maya's been... Please, detective, let's just wait until we can get inside the Sacred Cavern. You're looking kind of viridian there. Okay, just stop it with a face, pal. One thing, though. This staff's secret trick, let's keep it between you and me, alright? If it gets out that we knew about it and didn't say anything, we're finished. I understand. This is just a regular, run-of-the-mill staff. You got it? Okay, now you take good care of it, pal. Thank you, detective. Don't worry. She'll be fine. Gumshoe? You know, there's a place at the base of the mountain that had some really good pasta. How about I take you there when I find Maya, huh, pal? Sure.
You mean ramen? It's like you mean ramen in the Japanese version.
I can't help but wonder, though, what was Elise Donham doing with a staff like this in the first place?
To the garden, we must go.
cops are still combing the place. They look pretty nervous. I'd be nervous too. It's got to be a tough job. Especially when someone giving you the evil eye the whole time. How could I have done that? Wow, can't believe it's still bothering him. Edgeworth? Oh! Hey! Don't you dare run away! What do you want, right? What do I want? If you came here to laugh at me, then get on with it. Go on, laugh away! I was ready to hug it out with him, but he's just the same prideful Edgeworth. You went back to the Criminal Affairs Department, right? You said you wanted to look into something concerning Iris. Yes. And thanks to what I found, I was reminded of something terrible. There was something that bothered me about her from the moment we met. I felt like I'd seen her somewhere before. No, wait. Not somewhere. I felt like I'd seen her in court before. So you went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look for her file? Yes. I checked over every case file I've ever worked on. And I was right. I hadn't seen her face before 6 years ago. 6 years ago? It was my first appearance in court. And as cases go, it was my worst nightmare. So, who is she? I'm sorry, Wright. I can't give that information away to a member of the general public. What? Why not? It might be a crucial piece of the puzzle that solves this case. The woman I knew was the daughter of a jewelry store owner. She had nothing to do with Iris and Hazakura Temple, and neither did the case. No, that woman is completely unrelated to this murder. Unrelated? Yes, I can say that with complete confidence. You're wrong, Edgeworth. She's totally related to this case. I need to fill Edgeworth in. I need to explain the connection between Iris and the woman Edgeworth knew. You guys are putting a lot of effort into the investigation on the garden here, huh? There's a high chance this is the actual scene of the crime, that's why. You mean because of the writing in blood and the talisman in the snow? Exactly. As you know, those things couldn't have been planted here after the murder. But surely you don't suspect Maya, do you? We have to treat everyone as a suspect, Maya as well as Iris. It's our job, right? So, I guess you still haven't gotten over your fear of earthquakes? No, though thankfully my nightmares have stopped. But still, if the ground gives even the slightest tremor, I find myself short of breath. 17 years ago, when we were little school kids at the same elementary school, Edgeworth found himself in the middle of a murder. It all started with that big quake that hit the courthouse. Yes, I was stuck in the elevator with my father, who was a defense attorney. We were deprived of oxygen and we passed out. That's when it happened. That single gunshot shattered my whole life. I lost everything that day, all because of that earthquake. My dreams, my family, and myself. It's been more than 17 years now, and that case was finally resolved 2 years ago, right? You think I don't know that? I was there! But it was such a shock. I never imagined I could be so wrong about myself and my life. I'm sorry, Wright. There's nothing else I can say. Not after you chose to become a lawyer for my sake. And not after you saved me. Edgeworth, you're stronger than you think. So no more of this self-pity, okay?
Present question mark's profile. We all know who that is.
Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know that Iris had a twin sister? What? A twin? You can't be serious. Sister Bikini told me, but the problem is she didn't know the name of this twin. There was nothing about Iris having a sister in the files I checked. Well, Iris was taken in by the temple when she was really young. Apparently her sister was raised by her father, a jeweler, I think. A jeweler? Right, I just might know who this twin sister of hers is. I had a feeling you'd say that. Let me guess. Her name is Dahlia Hawthorne, right?
There it is.
Yes, exactly. Please tell me what you know about her, Edgeworth. Please. It was my first court case, 6 years ago. I was a greenhorn, and due to my inexperience, the defendant died. You're talking about Terry Falls, right? You know about that case? You're not the only one who noticed something about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne. I checked one of Mia's old files from 6 years ago. Yes, Dahlia was a key witness in that case. Dahlia and Terry Falls conspired together to stage a fake kidnapping 11 years ago. They stole a jewel worth $2 million from Dahlia's father, a jeweler. And 5 years after that, she murdered her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne, to keep her from talking. Her sister? Well, her stepsister, actually. They weren't blood-related. Valerie was the only daughter of Dahlia's father's second wife. Oh. And this is when she entered my life. The woman who tried to kill me. So after Terry Falls died, what happened to Dahlia? Did you check that out? Does it really matter? Like I said, Dahlia isn't connected with this case. Why are you so sure about that? It's simple. Dahlia Hawthorne is dead. What? Well, her metabolic processes are a matter of interest only to historians, so to speak. What do you mean by Dahlia Hawthorne's dead, Edgeworth? Right. I must confess that in reading her file, I came to know of the murder case you were involved in during your college years. Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, thanks to the persistence of Mia Fey.
Mia Fey! Mia Fey!
At the time, Dahlia, it's like she was possessed by a demon or something. It's been almost 5 years since that guilty verdict was handed down, and her sentence was finally carried out. She was executed last month. Executed? I'm sure that's a bit of a shock for you, right? And for more reasons than one. But you understand now. She can't possibly be connected with this case. She's dead, and once someone is dead, there's no way to revive them. There's no way to revive the dead. I wonder. It seems you're not aware of the one other connection yet, Edgeworth. And what is that? It's about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne's mother. What's their mother got to do with any of this? She's Morgan Fey, a spirit medium from a branch family of the Courtyard channeling technique. Did you say Courtyard channeling technique? Do you know something about it? Oh, yes. I know it's connected with that fraudulent spirit medium. Fraudulent? I was involved in another nightmare 17 years ago. I was caught up in the middle of a murder investigation. The police didn't have any leads. They were stumped, and that's when they called her in. She was a very famous spirit medium and the master of her channeling school. But you know what happened? As a result of her efforts, an innocent man was accused of murder. She and her powers, they were all fraudulent. Edgeworth, go to the police records room. It's all in there. All you have to do is check the Dl6 Incident case file and you'll know. Of course. How could I forget? Edgeworth was the victim in that case. Edgeworth, you'll understand someday. And then, you'll see that the Corine channeling technique is real.
Alright, to the inner temple. The training hall, I mean.
Yeah, that's where we are.
Right, you! Magatama!
I think it's time you told the truth about what you were doing that night. You said you were in your room at Hazakura Temple the entire time. Do you still claim that to be the truth?
Yes, that's where I was.
Iris, I believe you're innocent. That's why I want to believe that you're telling me too, but I can't. Because this person saw you somewhere else on the night of the murder.
Bikini.
I'm talking about Sister Bikini, of course.
Sister Bikini?
Her testimony in court today was very clear.
That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but... Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple.
Sister Bikini didn't just see you, she spoke with you. You two talked about Maya's training that night. So you see, Iris, you were there at the inner temple on the night of the murder.
That's very impressive, Mr. Wright.
The acolyte's actual training was due to start after 10 o'clock that night. I left the main hall early so I wouldn't be late.
What time was that?
Let me see. It takes about 20 minutes to walk between the main hall and the inner temple. So I would have left about 9:40 p.m., I think.
Sorry, Iris, but lying just doesn't suit you.
Huh?
Now, you say you left the main hall at 9:40 p.m., but what you say doesn't add up with this.
Your own testimony!
You yourself testified to the contrary, don't you remember? You said you rang the lights out bell at 10 o'clock that night. Plus, only moments before you rang that bell, you were seen at the main hall by the most reliable witness I have.
Who's that?
Me.
Mr. Wright.
We even spoke a little that evening. That's when you gave me this. Surely you haven't forgotten.
No, that's right. I remember.
And that brings us to another puzzling fact, Iris. At 10 o'clock on the night of the murder, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time. It's time you told me exactly what's been going on, Iris. So far, I've managed to prove 2 things. First, on the night of the incident, you were at the inner temple. And second, at the exact same time, you were ringing the bell at Hazakura Temple. There's only one possible explanation for this apparent impossibility.
There were 2 of you!
On the night of the incident, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time, which means there must have been 2 of you. I can't think of any other explanation, Iris.
But that's crazy! How could that be? There's only one of me! It's impossible!
Impossible? I wonder. The way you're trembling certainly seems to suggest otherwise.
You're seriously trying to suggest there's more than one of me? Then show me the evidence! Show me something that proves there's more than one of me!
Dahlia fucking Hawthorne!
I have a firm grasp of the situation now, Iris. You have a sister, don't you? A twin sister, perhaps. That's right. Dahlia Hawthorne, a woman I know only too well.
I had no idea you knew of her. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. But she's no longer...
Yes, I know. Her sentence was carried out recently, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Thank you.
There's no need to explain now, is there, Iris? This second you who was here at the temple on the night of the murder. It was your twin sister, Dahlia Hawthorne.
But you just said it yourself a second ago. My sister's dead. Have you forgotten that?
Have you forgotten this, Iris? This is a channeling dojo, a training ground of the Courtyard channeling technique. That night, someone channeled Dahlia's spirit, and you knew about it. That's the secret you've been trying to hide from me.
No, Alex, if you went back to the first investigation, Iris herself said that she had no spiritual power, so she couldn't have channeled anybody. I was in my room in the main hall that night. As soon as I heard that I'd been spotted at the inner temple, I knew. I knew it was my sister. Dahlia, the other half of me who passed away last month.
Just as I suspected. The Iris that Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple on the night of the murder. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Why didn't you tell me this before?
Because my sister always does the right thing.
Excuse me?
And because I mustn't get in the way of what she's trying to do. I already betrayed her once before. I can't do it again.
You betrayed her? What do you mean?
That's why I had to accept I may be found guilty. It's the only way.
What is she talking about?
You know about it, don't you, Mr. Wright? About the fake kidnapping that took place here on Eagle Mountain 11 years ago? That was the start of it all. It was what started her down a twisted path. She started to commit crime after crime, and in the end, she lost her life. It's all because I betrayed her.
How did you betray her, Iris?
It was no coincidence that Eagle Mountain is where the exchange was to take place. After all, I helped plan the whole thing.
What?
But I got scared, so I ran away.
What are you talking about? Why would you help her? Stealing $2 million from your own father? That's awful!
But I promised that I'd help. And she didn't do it for the money.
Huh?
It was revenge on our father.
Revenge? What do you mean by revenge?
He was a hideous man. He threw our mother away and then sent her to hell.
Her mother? She must be talking about Morgan Fay.
Our mother was the eldest daughter of the main branch of the Fay family. The Main family had a lot of influence in many business and political circles at the time. As the eldest daughter, our mother was said to inherit all of that as the next master. That's the reason our father married our mother in the first place, for power. But his plan backfired. Because our mother's sister took it all from her, she took over as the master of Courtyard.
That would be Misty Fay, Maya's mother.
But before long, the credibility of the Courtyard tradition hit rock bottom. The new master, Mystic Misty Fay, made a terrible mistake. It was during the investigation of the Dl6 Incident. After that happened, our father took me and my twin sister away, leaving our mother and our home behind. He hated the place. He said it was a hick dive and that he had no reason to stay there.
And that's when you came here to Hazakura Temple?
Yes. The woman my father took as his next wife already had a daughter, Valerie.
I had no place in this new family, you see.
Oh.
And I haven't seen my mother once since then. Having the master's seat stolen from her and being rejected by her own family. I've heard she's been very battered spiritually and emotionally.
I think I'm finally beginning to see how the pieces fit together.
I had asked Er everything I can in the capacity as a prosecutor. This incident, everything related to it goes back to the history of the Fae clan.
That's what it looks like. Iris, there's just one more thing I want you to tell me.
What is it?
During the incident in which your sister Dahlia Hawthorne poisoned a lawyer, she began a relationship with a certain college student in order to hide the evidence. That college student, have you heard anything about him?
Well, I did hear one thing. She said she hated his guts.
I see. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
Oh! Hurry up, Phoenix Wright! There's still much to investigate.
Leave these locks to me. I'll open them for you, I promise.
Thank you. I suppose I'd better continue my investigation. There's still one giant secret left to unlock. Pearl's psych lock.
Let's go to Heavenly Hall. Right, Pearl, Magatama.
Look at that. They really did make a fire right in front of the shack.
Oh, Mr. Nick!
Ha! You're too late, Nick. If you came here for one of our potatoes, we've already polished them all off. I think I've pretty much got all the evidence I need. Now I just need to find out what Pearls is hiding.
Last time I'm gonna say it. Magatama, motherfucker!
And I just realized the date that this takes place right now is actually the date I'll be flying to the US next year.
Sweet!
Yeah, February 9th.
Huh.
After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Elise Donham's room, reading a book together, correct?
Yes! I was so happy when she invited me. But I didn't go in the end.
You didn't go.
No, there was somewhere else I had to go instead. I was so worried, I had to go. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous.
So Pearls never went to Miss Donham's room because she was too worried about something or someone else. Pearls. On the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you?
The Inner Temple.
You went here, didn't you, Pearls? Looks like she's still not going to open up to me. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? Then the next question is, who or what were you so worried about? Now, I'm going to take a guess, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong.
You mean to know?
If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth?
Okay.
You went to this place for one very simple reason, and that is...
Maya.
It's obvious that you were so worried... It's obvious what you were so worried about, Pearls. It was Maya, wasn't it? You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was the special course.
I signed up for your special course.
Wow, my. Quite brave of you considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Don't blame me if you become one of those you channel.
Sister Bikini scared you with what she said, didn't she? And because it was you who introduced Hazakura Temple to Maya in the first place, you felt responsible, didn't you?
Thinking about what could have happened to Mystic Maya made me more and more worried. I couldn't sit still at all. That's why I decided to go and find out how she was doing at the inner temple.
Then we're clear now that you went to the inner temple that night, Pearls. What's not clear is what happened after that. About what time was it when you headed over to the inner temple?
It was probably around 9:30 when I left the main hall. I heard the real training was supposed to start at 10. I wanted to get there before it started. But there was so much snow, so I didn't get there until after 10 o'clock.
Until after 10? How did you know what time it was?
Because I heard the bell ring for lights out.
She heard the lights out bell. The Hazakura Temple's bell's pretty small though, isn't it? You must have really good hearing.
I was really trying to pick up the bell, that's all. I didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible.
She was trying to hear the bell. Tell me, Pearls. Why were you so worried about hearing that bell?
Huh? Oh,
I think I know why. The reason you were so worried about that bell was because of this.
The burnt letter. We may not have read it, but we know what it says.
Yeah. You were given some instructions to follow for that night, weren't you? I presume you recognize these pieces of paper.
Where did you...
In the incinerator at the inner temple. Pearls. You were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell.
I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing.
Bam, bitch!
These instructions that were found in the incinerator. I believe they were written for you, Pearls.
For me? No!
As you can see, a large portion has been burnt. But the last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you can hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling? Taking into account the author of the note and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? Don't overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious who Pearls was supposed to channel. The person you were trying to channel that night, Pearls, was...
Dahlia Hawthorne.
It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name... Yeah, that was the name that was in the letter. It's just as I suspected. It wasn't Iris whose sister Bikini met at the inner temple that night. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you know anything about her, Pearls? Do you know what kind of a woman Dahlia Hawthorne was?
No. I never heard of anyone by that name before reading those instructions.
I thought so. Pearls doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know that Dahlia Hawthorne is her sister. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls. Who wrote them? Whoever it was asked you to channel the spirit of someone you'd never heard of. You must have quite a lot of respect for them. After all, you followed their instructions without question. So here's my next question. Who wrote this set of instructions for you to follow?
Morgan Fay.
Pearls. I have to wonder about something. You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you? But you followed them to the letter regardless. Why? Because it was your own mother that asked you. That's why.
Did you?
I figured it out. The person who wrote you this letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay. All right, Pearls. It's time you started telling me the truth.
Mr. Nick,
Why is she holding back from me? I don't like this.
Don't underestimate me, just because I'm a child.
Huh?
If you're trying to say I follow these instructions, I'd like to see some proof.
What?
Because I don't think you have any.
Well, we do.
She'd say anything rather than admit to carrying out those instructions. I guess I'll have to produce some more evidence then. One more thing should do it. All right, Pearls. We both know someone carried out these instructions on the night of the murder. But you're right. There's no evidence that proves it was you.
I knew it!
However, I do know that whoever did it was a child.
Huh? How do you know that?
It couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that.
Simple mistake? What do you mean by that?
I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions you'd been given. But you misunderstood some of the words. And this is the evidence that proves it.
The hanging scroll covered in gravy.
It was you who splattered gravy on the hanging scroll, wasn't it?
What? Why would I do something like...
Do you remember what was written on that letter? Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. But you didn't know how to read the words gravely and roast, among others, right?
How do you know that?
Remember the conversation you had with Miss Donham on the night of the murder?
Perhaps you could read some books together.
Really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading.
Well then, would you like me to practice reading with me?
Miss Elise? So, for example, how do you read this?
It says gravely. That's kind of a tough word.
Sure, Miss Donham taught you how to read gravely and roast. But what she didn't teach you is what they meant. Gravely sounded
Gravely sounded like gravy to me, and the only roast I could think of was the food.
And that's why you did it. That's why you covered the picture of the master in gravy from the night's pot roast.
To be honest, I did think it was a bit strange. I guess I really did get the wrong idea.
Just a tiny bit.
I really am useless. I couldn't even burn the letter properly as my mother had asked of me. Such a simple thing. I couldn't even do it right.
Poor Pearl.
I know.
She's just a kid. Cut her some slack.
He's a lawyer. Lawyers don't cut slack.
Even so, she's 10.
After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple. With a pot full of the leftover gravy.
Gravy?
I saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the Sacred Cavern. I was sure it was the Master of Courtyard, like it said in the letter.
I see. And then? Stewie in the chat, Ed'd be like, "What a waste of gravy!"
Oh, God.
Well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the snow. So,
Hold on, there's lag a bit.
so I went to the inner temple's guest area.
The guest area?
Yes, I thought I could wait there until the training was over.
Why didn't you just go to the training hall?
Because Mystic Maya's main training had already started and I couldn't interrupt it. So I just stayed where I was and I prayed for her to get through it. But then,
Pearls, did you fall asleep?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just couldn't help it.
Sounds like you.
Shut up!
Hey, don't worry about it, Pearl. Who cares if you fell asleep? I fell asleep waiting for Iris too. It happens. Anyway, then you found yourself trapped at the inner temple?
Yes, when I woke up, it was morning. I tried to cry, but Dusky Bridge wasn't there anymore and there was no one in the training hall. I thought everyone had left me because I overslept. I threw the letter into the incinerator, then I heated up the leftover gravy and...
let off some steam by chucking the gravy on the scroll while you cried. And that...
Damn!
And that confirms it was curry, not gravy. Because curry sauce tends to go all thick and gloopy.
Man, Phoenix, you're roasting her for that roast, aren't you?
It must have been pretty scary for you, Pearl. I know what it's like, Nick. Nick used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school, too. Don't equate something so trivial with her experience, Larry.
Actually, Pearl will be 9, not 10, because the second game was a year ago, so.
Yep.
Never mind.
It was written right in my mother's letter. It said, as soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. I was on my way over to the inner temple when I heard the bell ring.
So you channeled Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit?
No. I tried, but I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it?
I never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. I tried and I tried and I tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. But I just couldn't do it.
Don't let it get you down, Pearl. It'll all work out. If you want, I'll come flying through the sky for you. Whoosh! Just like that. She never managed to channel the spirit. Is that why you think your spiritual powers are gone?
Yes, I don't know what to do.
Isn't there any other explanation on why you couldn't channel a spirit?
I suppose there's one other possibility. It's not very likely, though.
Could you please tell me what it is anyway?
It could happen if someone else is already channeling the same spirit.
Someone else? What do you mean?
Well, there's only one of each spirit, right?
Yep, it's like dating a girl, Nick. You can't see a hot chick if she's already taken. Then, that would mean on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearl's could. Someone else channeled the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne.
I'm a failure. I couldn't even grant my mother's final wish.
Her final wish?
Yes, this letter. This is my last wish, she said. So make sure you follow the instructions carefully.
This letter. I definitely need to find out more about it.
My mother has gone to a place called a penitentiary.
Yeah, I know, Pearls.
I visit her every month. And last month she told me.
The time we've been waiting for has come, Pearl. There's something I need you to do for me. I hid a letter for you at our home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. It's for the good of the Fate Clan, my angel. You'll be doing a great thing. Now, listen carefully, and I'll tell you where the letter is hidden.
My mother is always nice to me. I love her very much.
Yeah, moms will do anything for their kids, right?
She said it was for the good of the Fate Clan, so I knew I had to help her. I mean, Mystic Maya's part of the Fate Clan, so it'd be good for her, too. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick?
I guess so, yeah.
There was a picture with her letter, too,
A picture?
of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually a picture is enough to channel someone's spirit, but this time...
Pretty weird, huh? Like Larry knows anything about this stuff.
There's something else that was strange about my mother's letter. The seal on it was broken as if someone had already opened it once before.
That sure is pretty strange. Someone had opened it already. Thanks, Pearls. You really helped me out.
You're very welcome. My mother is watching over us. So I'm sure Mystic Maya will be alright.
Look at that innocent smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Huh. Finally figured it out, have you, trite? You finally realized how terrible of a crime being painfully obvious is. Godot! The entrance to the Sacred Cavern looks like a freaking puzzle workshop. I guess he's talking about Iris and the lock-breaking effort. But it's all a waste of time. Why do you say that? Because Maya Fey isn't coming back. What? You don't know what you're talking about! How can you say something like that? It was your job to protect her, Trite. Just like it was your job to protect Mia Fey. Two sisters caught up in the worst circumstances. I realized that, but... And you were the only one who was by their sides. You were the only one who could have saved them. But I didn't know anything about what was going on! What did I just say, Trite? Being oblivious is a heinous crime in itself. Tomorrow. We'll settle everything in court tomorrow, once and for all.
Mr. Nick? Is what that man just said true?
It'll be alright, Pearls. I'm sure Maya's alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick.
My dear Pearl. You've done so well, my child. My Pearl. It's there that you don't know what you've done. I knew this day would come for you. The blood of the main family is no more. Now, finally, after all this time, the master's seat is yours. My last great wish. It seemed I was just in time. When you think about it, Morgan Fey is the real bad guy in the series.
Pretty much. Oh, finally.
I mean, yeah, sure, Dahlia, but all of this was orchestrated by Morgan Fey since the very beginning, since the second game.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, as Godot says, we will finish this tomorrow.
Yes. Yes, we will.
And guys, Sonic Fan and I we promised each other that tomorrow we're going to give it our all. We're going to give you guys a grand performance.
And there'll be no jokes.
It will be raw and emotional.
And there's going to be no jokes either.
No jokes at all. And again, fair warning. What you hear tomorrow will be completely raw and emotional, as we will give our best performances yet. And as I said from the very beginning, this case is fucking sad.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
And fair warning also, I really can't promise any of you, like to Sonic Fan or me, but I can't guarantee it, but tomorrow, probably, I might be crying.
We both probably will be.
Yeah, we will be crying, probably. So, be prepared for that, guys.
All right. Anything to say before we head off?
Oh, man.
Well, all I can say is see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.